There's definitely a party every night, and there's definitely a lot of hooking up that happens. I would say, I know you're asking like if there was romance.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a place you should go to try to find love.
Welcome to Say It's Lit, the one and only podcast embracing queer narratives, where every topic is fair game. Get ready for some serious sass and juicy insights into everything queer. I'm your unfiltered host, Maticus, and I'm about to plunge into the unheard stories of the vibrant queer and ally communities. So hold on tight, because we're not just breaking the silence, we're obliterating it. Ready, set, slay. Okay, so we're just going to reintroduce you. This is Maticus, Say It, Slay It, here with my two handsome friends. Go to introduce yourself first.
Yes. Hi, I am Sumner.
Yeah.
And I'm Cody.
I had to let you say that because I can't say it. Sumner.
Sumner. It's not too hard, is it? It's summer, but with an N. We got an N in there.
I think when I say it on my own, I'm fine. But as soon as you look at me, I'm like, Summer.
That's why we go by Cody and Sum. People call me Sum a lot, but it is short for Sumner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still cute though.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I know. You were saying you use his name when you order coffee, right?
I do. Yeah. It just makes it easier. So, because it's usually like I get the and I have to repeat it, and then they usually spell it wrong.
Yeah.
Or when they call it out, they say Summer. So then everyone thinks my name in the restaurant is Summer, which is not a huge deal, but it's just so easy to just say Cody when I'm placing an order.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, today we're going to be talking about the Atlantis cruise you guys went on recently. You guys recently just did a really great episode. We talked about it was more family friendly. We're actually having to re-record part of this because I didn't have the recording button on.
That's okay.
Yeah, get everybody warmed up and ready to go. But like we're saying, their episode was really just talking about, the ins and outs from my perspective and outside of the party scene. And today we want to get a little bit more into the nitty gritty of what actually happens in the party scene, because I think it's what our people are interested in. So anything on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they both happen, and I think that people assume that it's just a big party, which they can be, but we did do an episode on just all the other stuff that happens. So the shows, the ports, the days at sea, the time by the pool, and just that feeling of like you're on this like summer camp, gay summer camp.
If you want to go and just party the whole time, there's definitely that option. Yeah.
And so we just wanted to do a quick episode because we did so much other stuff, and that was what that episode was about. But there is all the sex and the parties that we can totally get into right now. We're all about it because we definitely did that as well.
I was curious what I'm getting, like when I hear about the Atlantis cruise, everyone's like, I'm going on the Atlantis cruise. Like, is it just like a big fucking orgy or like a party, or is it more than that?
I mean, there's definitely a party every night, and there's definitely a lot of hooking up that happens. I would say, I know you're asking like if there was romance.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a place you should go to try to find love.
Well, I mean, us, since we were already together, we had romantic moments. But
yeah.
I don't think it's something you should go searching for.
So the Mediterranean one that we went on, it was over Labor Day, and it's 10 days. So it's leaves out of Rome, and it went around the Mediterranean. This one specifically, it's definitely an older crowd than the one that goes on the Miami one that goes around the Caribbean every January, February. So it does tend to be a little older of a crowd, and there tends to be a lot more couples, which is why we wanted to do it. So we definitely had, there was definitely romantic things to do as a couple. But I wouldn't say to go on there trying to find love. Yeah.
You're gonna be somebody's toy if you go there.
Yeah, if you want to find like a weekend I don't even think you could find a weekend boyfriend, because I think everyone is on there. That's like you have your fun with someone, and then it's like, okay, on to the next one.
Yeah. It's kind of like more about trying to get the highest head count.
Some people are trying to get the highest head count. We could talk about that. There's a whole Telegram chat for these cruises that happen. Like they usually launch right when the cruise opens up the bookings, and someone will start a Telegram chat. So this one had like 1,300 guests in it, and
it's raunchier than Grindr.
Yeah, like you got people in there just like, here's my room number, here's my hole, like I'm ready to take 100 loads tonight, just stuff like that. And then the next chat will be like, I'm chilling in the buffet, and someone just posts a picture of their food, like, but it's like 90% like raunchy.
That's so random.
There's a strong hookup culture there for sure.
I know we were talking about this before. I actually had, a friend that took his situationship there, and he said like it was just ended up being in a fight because he was a numbers guy. He's like, hey dude, I'm here to play, and his situation boy is like in the room just crying.
Yeah, I don't think it's you should not go if you're in a situation.
If you're in a relationship that's any sort of complicated at all, do not go on a gay cruise.
Yeah,
it's the best place to be open first time.
Yeah,
I did meet a couple though, that was closed. Like they were there and they were closed. They were only there to hook up with each other, and they were a cute little. I think they were South African couple, and they were really nice. We were talking to them for a while, and then once that kind of part of the conversation got brought up, I was like, oh, like, this is your guys' first cruise together? Are you guys here to like kind of play? And they're like, oh no, we're not going to do any of that. But they were at the parties every night, all night partying. They just were only into each other. But I mean, there's literally something for everybody, whether you're single or in an open relationship.
Does that make you want to spend less time with them though? Like, because they were not.
Well, I would say like they weren't like super friendly. Yeah, like they were nice.
Okay,
but like I was the one engaging in conversation, and they would talk back. But like, yeah, there was part of it like, okay, if you're not gonna be super engaging and a fun person in general, and there's no chance of hooking up with you, then okay, then I didn't make a point to talk to them.
Sure.
Most of I'd say hi, but I wasn't trying to engage in conversation with them. But they also weren't trying to engage in conversation with like anyone. You remember? They just.
But there's also no. I never felt pressure to like hook up with either with people. No. It's not like you don't feel pressure, and it's all kind of by choice. There's definitely, if you want to go have sex, you're definitely gonna find it.
Yeah.
If you don't, like, no one's gonna like try to tempt you or like pressure you into it.
Yeah.
That feels different than like maybe any like sex spa or like any kind of party you usually go to and you have people grabbing all over you. Like you don't experience that at all, or is it more of like you can do like
not at the parties? I mean, there's some orgies that happen, and if you go to those, like you're gonna get that
game on.
It's gonna be you're gonna go into it knowing that you're gonna get grabbed.
Okay, yeah. I think we're gonna talk about some of the parties that
we can get into that too more so.
Let's see. So I was saying before, is there anything you have to do to prove that you're gay? Is it only for gay people, these type of cruises?
Yes. Well, Atlantis isn't the cruise line. Atlantis charters Royal Caribbean boats, and so it's only marketed to the gays. So yeah, it's all gays. It's no straight people. There are some women.
Yeah, some gays brought their fag hags.
Yeah. And then there was some lesbian women that were on there, but they did tell us the number. It was only 16 women out of like 3,200 people. So the rest were all gays.
You said somebody brought their mom too, right?
Someone brought their mom.
Someone brought their mom.
That's wild. That's so wild.
Yeah.
Is it usually like the same crew, or do they change the crew out? Like, do they get a heads up?
Like as far as the help, those are all that's all Royal Caribbean. But then all the like ambassadors and the entertainment and stuff, Atlantis books those per ship. Yeah.
Got it. That's crazy. I was like, hey guys, this next cruise coming up, it's going to be a little wild. Maybe this is your first line.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they're the people that are, the wait staff and whatnot, they don't blink an eye or seem uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's wild.
But I know that those, I would assume from my knowledge, like the help, the wait staff, like they're on the ship for months at a time.
Yeah.
So they're just rotating week after week.
Mm-hmm.
So
they see it all.
They see a lot of crap too, probably over time. But I know the gays are its own specific.
Do these like cruise lines like ever take like children, or is it always an adult like cruise?
No, there's the week before.
Or ours, the like woman who works for Royal Caribbean, who was like, I don't know kind of what her title was, but she was like, oh, this week's so much better. Last week I had like 1,200 kids here.
Yeah.
Like the cruise director is like, oh, the children.
Yeah, the cruise director was this cool woman, and she was like, yeah, the gays are so much better than all the kids I just had last week. Yeah. So it's normally it's a family ship.
I think I'd be having like a little like shell shock, like watching them come on the next week. I'm like, you know what happened right there where the children are playing.
But yeah.
So I heard that it's kind of clothing optional. What are the areas, or can you be nude on the boat anywhere?
Not anywhere. You can. There's like a designated area, like you'll walk through on the doors of like clothing optional area, but it's frowned upon to be naked running around the ship.
Yeah, you can't just be like naked at the buffet or just like naked walking through the hallways
or at
like
the
that.
main pool.
Yeah. But there's a clothing optional area by the pool during the day that they have, you know, for people to like lay out and tan naked if they want. And then, or I mean, anytime I walk by, people have been there, it's like reading a book. But there's at nighttime, the front part, which is normally during the day just like a pool area, like at the nighttime you can walk down there and it's dark and it turns into what's called the dick deck, and everyone is naked and it's basically like a dark room.
Okay. Wow.
No one says anything. There's really no workers back there either. I think they know not to go back there. It's just kind of a free for all.
If someone get pulled into the dick deck, they're like, I was a worker.
Like, yeah. Oh, you know what? No, actually there is, because one night they were cleaning out the jacuzzis.
Yeah, it was pretty empty at that point, though.
Yeah. That was like later on. Yeah.
It was like 5 a.m.
Because there's jacuzzis right there that people also would hang out in and stuff. So.
Yeah. You know, naked in the jacuzzis.
I seem just on the regular cruises, they're power washing every single day, like the pools, the jacuzzis. I can only imagine what they have to do for you guys.
Yes.
Like, what is this?
A little extra chlorine in there.
Okay, so it was clothing optional in certain areas. That's great. And then did you guys take? You keep mentioning the buffet. You can't be naked at the buffet. Did you just have this want to be naked at the buffet? You're like,
I'm thinking about like areas that a lot of people gravitate to. Like you can't be naked in the dining area or the buffet.
Well, it's right next to the
theaters.
Pool. Yeah. So like even during the party, if you want to get hungry, you can just walk over. But like
the buffet was right next to the.
Even if you're in a speedo, the worker like hand you a towel to like wrap around your arms.
Yeah. Okay. So not clothes. You're just saying a towel.
Yeah.
Towel. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to the buffet. Hold on.
Okay. We're an appetite.
So what percentage of the cruise would you guys say that you were like we're mostly nude? You guys are you? Or are you guys an outfit kind of guy? Like.
Well, I mean, like we during the day, we're seeing shows or at a port or by the pool. And then, you're
in a speedo a lot.
I'm much more like find someone and then take them back to our room kind of thing. So we did like the dick deck. You could walk there. It's on the same level as the nighttime event.
We had sex on the dick deck one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so we would walk through it a lot, but like, I wouldn't take my clothes off, and we would just be like, oh, let's do a lap and check out in there.
Yeah.
But a lot of time it's like, nothing in there is what I want. But it's fun to just like look around.
Yeah.
Like, or like get in the jacuzzi, get in the hot tub, or just like, take a break from the dance floor. Mm-hmm. So, we weren't naked a whole lot in public.
Yeah. I would say people are running around naked a lot. You don't see a lot.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, they can't do that anymore. I think they got in trouble for that. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know if my favorites are gonna like walk through covered, and the people I don't want to see are naked.
It's always who you don't want to see.
Yeah, the big people are usually the ones that you don't want to see naked.
That's a read, but it's true.
So out of the two of you, like, are you guys versatile, top bottom verse?
We're both very
verse. Okay. Yeah. Very fluid. Do anything.
You're just there to have fun.
Yeah. So did you guys find a room that had like a swing or anything? I'm hearing that there's sex swings. There's a special room.
So
does that orgy you went to the wedding?
Yeah. So speaking of the Telegram chat we were in, there was also what they called, it was a VIP Telegram chat that we got invited to that was like 40 gays that someone curated from the Telegram chat.
I don't know if I would have specifically called that group of VIP.
So that was VIP, like, like who they thought was hot, put us all in like a 40-person chat. This person had like a 2-floor suite. And so they were trying to host orgies every night with like an invite only kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And, I did go one night just to check it out. But again, like I am much more like, I like to meet someone, say hello, build like an initial chemistry. Like I don't like walking into, like they were trying to host an orgy like the first night. And I was like, I want to go out and dance and meet people first.
Yeah.
I don't want to just like walk into this room and just like drop my pants and start like doing things with people yet. But I'm all for people that want.
Even though we ended up having one in our room the first night.
Well, there was a couple people in the chat that like we kind of messaged like saying that we were like, oh, like looking forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
And all the people that we had talked to, like they went to the party, and I remember we run into each of them and say hi, and they're like, yeah, we feel the same way. We're like, we want to come out and like meet people first. We don't want to just like show up. And those were the people that we ended up having over to our room that night. We had our own little.
Yeah, that was the first night where we had sex with them at the dick deck and then took them back to
and so it was like 6 of them plus us. And
but then that group like kind of became our friends for the week too.
Yeah. And it's fun because people are there to hook up, but like people are there to make like some friendships. You know, like if you can do that, but then like I said, those people, we ended up every night we'd like gravitate to dance with each other on the dance floor, like hang out for a bit, like catch up on the day, like, you know, there's all of that, and it's really cool. So it's not just sex or whatever.
So you had mentioned that like you have to connect with somebody like before you can like, you know, get down. Like, do you consider yourself like,
preferably?
Are you demisexual, or is that just your preference? Do you know what that is?
I forget what that is.
It's like, so it means like you have to establish a connection with somebody before you can have sex with them.
We 90% of the time we're like that.
Yeah, or at least just like a hello, you know. I mean,
it
we
definitely helps.
Like, you know, connection. Just like a little hello. Just but no, there's actually times where like we, you know, we're like, you know, you see the right person in the dark room, and it's just like, all right, let's go for it.
Yeah.
But I did go to that room where they were hosting an orgy with the VIP chat.
Yeah.
And it did end up being my thing, like the people that were there and stuff and the vibe, but like the people that were there looked like they were having a lot of fun. But it wasn't guys that I felt like I wanted to do anything with. But again, like you go in there and there's pressure, like once you're in there in that environment, there's pressure like, hey, take your clothes off.
Yeah, really.
Like, don't be weird. Like, if you're going to stay, you need to have sex with people. You can't just walk around and like reject people. So I did a lap and I was like, this isn't for me. So I left.
Yeah.
And that was fine. Like, there wasn't pressure that I had to stay. But
yeah. I had met some guys at Pensacola Pride that were on the Atlantis cruise kind of thing. And they did like wristbands. Did you guys run into those guys? Or they're like, oh, you have to have a wristband to get into a party. And they did this cool system where they like wrote the person's name that invited you on there. So like somebody else answers the door. They're like, oh, he's with Mikey. He's cool. You know,
I think that they do that on the Caribbean one because it's a bigger ship. Like this Mediterranean one had 3,000 people. That one tends to have like around 6,000.
Okay.
And I think the parties are, there's more of that. There's more of that going on. And so I think that I've heard of that, but they didn't do it on this one, right? No. Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's so exclusive. Like, where do I get this wristband from?
How do you do that on Fire Island?
I like the one we were on maybe is a little more inclusive than the one in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this one's a little more, tries to be a little more.
Yeah. Okay.
It's also, like I said, it's also an older crowd. Like it's a strong, like
what's older?
40, 50 plus crowd versus
definitely the younger side of
there was only like 5 people, and I'm not kidding, like 5 people in their 20s on this ship.
We're not in our 20s.
So we were definitely the younger, and versus the Caribbean one, the Miami one, it is the younger American crowd, like the 20s, the 30-year-olds, but also the older stuff too. But this one's just an older crowd.
Yeah. Well,
than the other one in comparison.
But this is your preference. You like this one. Have you guys been on the other one before?
Yes. I have. I wanted to take him on this one first because we just wanted to go to Europe, and I was like, let's just do this one first, and then we'll go on the other one. And so we'll go on the other one, I think, next year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I think we'll have a blast. I think I like both for different reasons.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I heard the parties are a lot bigger, obviously the bigger one.
Yeah, it's just a bigger ship, bigger party, more boys. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's see here. So how do you let guys know that you're interested in hooking up, and how do you let them know that you're not? You said that people are pretty respectful. What kind of system do they have?
I don't know if we really have a system, but we're pretty forward, I'd say. Usually if we like someone, we like tell them pretty quickly.
I was letting you answer. You gotta answer.
And then
I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we're dancing with someone, and if we're doing all the things and we're dancing and we're drunk or whatever, we're pretty forward and like, I like you, you're hot, or you're sexy, like we'll whisper in the ear or whatever. And sometimes we'll talk about it, who we like, and then we'll send one of us to go over and get
Yeah. There's usually like an initial eye contact, and it's like, oh babe, like that one's cute right there. And then it's just, we're in a relationship and there's really nothing to lose. So we are pretty forward, but like in a respectful way. But like, yeah, like we'll just say hi, and then we'll just right away just be like, you're really hot, by the way. Like, you know, just like say it, you know, like and usually at the beginning of just talking to them. And then for me, if they just go, oh, thanks. Yeah. To me, that's usually like, oh, okay, like thanks, but I'm not really interested. But if they respond and say, oh yeah, you're hot too, then I'm like, okay, game on. Yeah. Yeah. It's usually, you know, and there are times where we just walk by, if someone's walking by us, and we'll just be like, hey, sexy. Yeah. And if they respond and go, hey, you're cute too, or whatever, you know, that usually to me says, okay, like you're kind of interested.
I mean, if someone hits on us and we're not interested, your line usually is like, oh no, not right now.
That's me at the orgy. If someone
right now,
if someone's like, oh, can I suck your dick, or can I stick it in? I'll just, oh, not right now. Taking a break. But that's what I like. If someone tells me that I'm hot or handsome or says something like that, and I'm not interested in them, like I will just say, oh, thank you, and I'll change the subject. Yeah. If I'm interested back, then I let them know that I think they're also attractive. So that's kind of what there's no like specific like pickup line or anything. It's just straight to the point. Like, hey, you're really handsome, or you have really beautiful eyes, or like your chest is really nice. Just
that's cute though. I like how you guys are not mean though. You're like, no, that's sweet, because you don't have to tear anyone down. But
I know, but I also am okay with like that. Like it's okay to let people know you're not interested at an orgy. Like you don't.
Well, the first night when we had one, there was a guy who kind of like snuck in on us, and you know, we just met everyone, so we just assumed he was a friend of them. But then later we learned he wasn't, and you like got him to leave, but you did it in like a very
I'll tell the story. Okay, so. Yeah, we were on the dick deck with those 6 guys, and we were like, oh, let's just go back to our room because we need a lube. And so, yeah, this random guy ended up wandering back with us. And right when we get back, one of the guys that I was like hitting it off with, he's like, hey, was that your friend right there? And I'm like, no, I thought he was yours. And he's like, no, we don't know him. And he's just, you know, kind of in the corner, like, you know, not doing anything with anyone because he had just followed us. Right. And so I was like, oh, hey, so you guys all know each other, right? Everyone's friends here. And they're like, oh yeah, we all know each other. And then that guy's like, oh yeah, no, I don't know you guys. Like, you guys are all, where are you guys all from? And so I use that as like, oh, you know, hey, like we just wanted this to be like our friend group and not anyone we didn't know. So he's like, oh, okay, I'll leave. Yeah. And he wasn't like mean, because he knew that he had done something weird, creepy. Yeah. Like he wasn't invited. Yeah. He saw us get up from the dick deck to go leave and go back to our room, and heard that we were going back to our room and just chose to follow. Yeah. So he knew he was being sketch. Yeah. So he didn't try to argue. And that was my polite way of just being like, oh, like, you know, you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, was he attractive or like more unattractive, or like what was like or was it just
I
weird?
would say he wasn't unattractive.
He wasn't unattractive, but like, it was just one of those guys that's just kind of like
vibe was off,
standing in the corner, like kind of playing with himself, like waiting for someone to pay attention to him. I mean, of course, yes, if we had found him attractive, then it would have been maybe different. I mean, I can't not admit that, but like, I think his vibe was also just really weird. Yeah. And,
or if he would have been more like
engaging
with the group, but he kind of wasn't talking to anybody either. It was like weird.
It was just weird. That meant that you just like wandered in by yourself, which was just weird in itself. Yeah. Like you hadn't engaged with us on the dick deck, and then you just randomly wound up in my room. Like that just also made me. And
worth a shot.
To me, no one that is. Yeah. To me, no one that I've ever been attracted to or would do something with wouldn't have that kind of behavior.
Yeah. I know I wouldn't do something like that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't think many of us was. I think some guys are usually very persistent. They typically are guys that I know I wouldn't go after. We haven't talked
the guys that do that are guys that I would go after. Yeah. And so I just, like, if he had been someone that was attractive and engaging, then they wouldn't have thrown off that kind of vibe, and he would have been invited to the room to begin with.
Yeah.
So, but after he left, everyone in the room was like, wow, that was smooth. They're like, I'm gonna use that line. Oh my god! But
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, I know. But again, I wasn't rude to him. I didn't make him feel bad. I didn't make him feel like shit.
Yeah,
like there's an etiquette on both sides. I think. Yeah.
So what would you say that your type is? You guys have different types? Same type?
We have similar types, but I really just like anything. I'm just not really attracted to twinks. Like that's
really,
yeah. Like I like.
Yeah, we're not big twink.
I like
all of our friends are twinks.
Tall, short.
That works out that way.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to buck you.
Our little piglets. But I like a twunk. I like hairy. I like older. I like younger.
That's where we're a little different. I don't love hairy.
Yeah.
I mean, different levels of hairy, I guess, but.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I definitely love someone that's like my build. But I mean, we do. One of our favorites is like a little muscle twunk.
Yeah, that's which is like wasn't always my type. It's
Latino
twunks.
Oh yes,
especially on the cruise.
You know, Latinos are just really passionate lovers.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah. They're so good at everything. I have a twunk as a partner, so a Latino twunk. Yeah, he's beautiful.
Oh, there you go. He knows.
Yeah. He's got like 17 personalities. I'm sorry, baby. And like, they fall in love with a new person every day.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we talk about guys you have to deal with. Let's talk a little bit more about these invite-only parties. So you said there was like a group text. Somebody handpicked you guys. Were there people finding you on the dance floor? Like, did you ask for?
So we met the guy who created the main group chat, like when we were in Rome. Just randomly at the bar, and he actually became like one of our better friends for the week. But then I think somebody went through and like looked through pictures and like picked people they thought were hot. And because at first they added me to this VIP group chat, and it just like popped up on the app. Like I just downloaded the app for the cruise too. Like I never even used that app before.
Yeah, we never used that.
And I'm like, what is this? And then the guy was just like, the main guy of the group like started chatting with me. So I got him at it, and we got our other friends at it. And it was just like every night they were hosting an orgy, which I didn't end up going one time. So eventually they ended up like removing me from the group. I think because I just never win.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was weird.
I don't know. It was really random.
But they kept him in, but like took me out.
Audited.
Yeah.
He got removed like the third night of the cruise, which was the night. I don't know why. I think it was a glitch.
Or I was like mean to someone because the guy who created the group like you didn't know who he was. He kept himself anonymous. So maybe I don't think I was mean to anybody, but maybe I was like talking shit to you or someone heard me. I don't know.
But then why remove you and not remove me as your partner?
Yeah, it was really weird.
You were mean to him. I bet you found out.
I don't know, but that was the only other party that I had heard about was the person who owns Atlantis. His name is Richard. Right?
Yeah, you know more than I do.
No, I'm super sorry. Yeah, Rich. He's so nice. I've met him a couple times, but he always one night hosts like a big after party at his place. It's not like a sex party, just like it's like an exclusive invite only, like people that he wants to like curate and hang out with.
Yeah,
like some of the ambassadors. But I think that there's more of those on the January one.
Got it. So you guys are just getting ready. So I kind of wanted to swing back on one of the other questions. You guys were talking about how like you guys would pick up your twinks or your twunks, and you had mentioned how like you might send one person over. Like, what's your takedown? Give me an experience of someone that you guys took down like at a party to get them to come back with you. You guys have a story on that?
I think it's usually we're just like on the dance floor and like Santiago, when I be like, he's hot, and you're like, go for it, and then I'll go over and just start dancing with him, and and see if it. He's interested too. And if they are, then, we end up dancing all night. And then we usually ask if they want to go back or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the cruise though, it's like everyone's trying to kind of dance and have fun through the night. So like there were times where like it's like with Santiago, Phil, I guess I shouldn't name names. With him, it's just like we were talking to him on the dance floor, and we were just like, it was only an hour into the party, and it was like, hey, you want to go back to our room and fool around, and then we just go back, and as we're leaving, he wanted to grab one other boy, so we just grabbed him and said, "Hey, we're going back to the room," and we just went, did our thing for like an hour, and then we came back up, and the party's still going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah, that's our favorite part about it.
But like, there was a lot of like meeting people, and we didn't do anything with them for like a couple days. You know, like it wasn't like we had to close the deal right away.
Yeah,
because there's still like 7 days left on the ship. So some of it was like those first few days, just like meeting a bunch of people and then kind of closing the deals. As like,
I would say we had that orgy the first night, and then we kind of took a night off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess with our little Latino chunk though, that was
he took a couple of days.
Yeah, he took a couple of days.
He did.
But there was just one night where it's like, all right, this is the night it's happening, and so we just like invested like a lot of time into him throughout the night.
But he couldn't speak English. I was on Google Translate, like
shut up
with him, like getting my phone back.
Yeah. You always have the hard ones, right?
Yeah.
I know. But we had fun.
And he'd be like, you know, he would see us and like jump on us and be so excited. He was so short, and he would be like talking Spanish in my ear, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying, but you're so cute.
Oh, and then I had the guy who ended up being, he was the youngest kid on the ship. He was like 22, but we were looking. It was the last day.
Yeah,
and we were at the disco dance party, and we were just like looking at him from across the pool. Well, he was like 5 feet away from us.
Yeah,
and we were both just looking at him. We were like, he has such pretty eyes, and he caught us looking. So he came up and said hi, and he's like, "Hey, I've seen you guys all week. You guys are so cute." Like,
I decided to take my chance.
Yeah, I decided to take my shot, and we were like, "No, we were just talking about how cute you are," and then I just like started talking to him right there, and 30 seconds in, I was making out with them, and then we're just dancing for like 10 minutes, and then I was like, "Hey, babe, like, do you care? Do you want to go back to the room?" And then that was that, and then I was just invited him to the room.
Nice. Do you guys always play together or separate, or
mostly together?
Mostly together, but we are allowed to play.
Well, in that moment, he wanted to stay and dance, and so I was like, "Okay, well,
so he went back.
I'll go back with him."
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool. I don't have to wait for you. I know these cruises are different, but I think what most people talk about is like the outfits, or at least the twinks. The twinks are like, the outfits are all that matters. Like, was it like that on this cruise?
No.
I mean, we had outfits for everything, but
I'm all like looked out. Like, I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Everybody pretty much is dressed a theme though.
Yeah. People are dressed a theme, but I wouldn't say they're super extravagant. I just like know I'm going to be shirtless within the first couple hours and like hot and sweaty. So as long as it's something simple that I can take off. But yeah, there's a theme for like 80% of the parties. So
got it.
Yeah.
I know people were wearing like these crazy extravagant things on the videos that I saw, but maybe not for you guys. All right.
There's like a handful of people that, you know, have their extravagant looks, but
there was like an under the sea one where we like took a sweater and ripped it up, and it looked like we were in a net.
Yeah.
That was kind of our...
That one was fun. That was fun. Yeah. But then it's, you know, like a couple hours and it's like, all right, take the net off just in the Speedo, you know, just get comfortable.
Well, at that point, it's so stretched out and I was so tangled in it. It took me forever to actually get it out.
You guys are so crafty. I love that.
We were pretty crafty.
They're crafty.
Okay, so did you guys have any like interesting walks of shame on the deck in the morning? Like you stayed at a party too long?
Well, the last party, we didn't go to bed. We like went to the party all night and then like hooked up in our room, and then it was like 9 a.m. and we were like, you know, it's our last day at sea. So we like just went up to the pool right away. And by the end of the night though, we were like out of our minds. We needed sleep.
But you can, you know, hook up and then just go right back to the party or go back to whatever you're doing, because it's so easy to also just go back to your room at any point. So I wouldn't say no one was like spending the night and then like having to do a walk of shame in the mornings or whatever.
Yeah.
It's more just like, things are just going on at all times.
It's always active. Yeah.
Just going on. There's always something happening.
When you're sleeping, you're missing something.
No matter, like you might be if you're at a party, you're missing something else that's going on.
Yeah.
Oh no. All right, let's see here.
This is always something go out.
So I put this question in here. I don't know, but did you guys see any famous people misbehaving on the ship? Other than yourself?
I would say no. I think that we were. I mean, other than like the DJs that are on the ship, I would say like we kind of were probably two of the more well-known people.
Yeah.
We did have people come up to us and recognize us.
Our surprise guest was Years and Years.
Yeah.
And all I heard was that he was at the party dancing. So I didn't hear like that he did anything.
Yeah, but there wasn't any famous people on the ship.
Yeah. Sorry, because you missed that exclusive party.
Yeah, right. He was probably there.
I'm okay with that.
I feel like the people that create those groups, like with these photos, like they're usually like super unattractive, and that's why.
Well, yeah, I feel like that a lot of people that were going to those orgies just have a harder time meeting people at the parties.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it's like it's a for sure thing. You know, if they go to that, they're gonna have sex.
Yeah.
And I like the chase. That's what turns me.
Yeah, I like the chase and those
Google Translate.
yeah.
I Google Translate. I like chasing.
There's commitment. Yeah, but the people that are just sending pictures of their butthole and just saying, meet me in room 8321. And, you know, it's there. I think those people, sometimes they don't leave their room. Like they don't go to the parties. They just use they use the social media to get laid rather than going out and actually like making a human interaction happen.
But that has to work, right? It works because like they do it with the spas, they do it on Grindr.
It does work. Oh, it does work for them. It's just not my thing. I'll go get it. Get your rocks on. Get your rocks on.
Everyone is into what they're into.
Yeah, everyone's into what they're into.
I said like when I had Grindr extra, I was like always like using the blocks because I'm like it's the persistent people that win, especially like when you're fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, like they're back at the top again. Like where?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always those fucking guys that like come to my room.
Yeah. They because they'll send it multiple times throughout the week.
Oh yeah, and then they'll get real passive aggressive and be like, fine, I guess not. But then they'll be like 5 hours later, hey.
Yeah, it's not like running a little Tina bender, huh? Okay, so around how much do you think the trip, you know, costed you guys all included? So like how in the beginning, and then what was the expectation at the end?
Well, I spent a lot more money on the boat than you did.
Well, the room was with port fees and everything was $2,800 each. And then, you know, we spent
$2,800 for us each.
Yes, $2,800.
So $5,600 for our whole.
So balcony room.
Yeah, plus we spent like on average $1,500 each while we were on the boat. And
I spent more than that.
Yeah, and then just your flights. You know, so, I mean, like, I guess it was around a good like $6,000 each.
Yeah.
$1,500 on what? What are you buying?
Well, the Wi-Fi was $250.
You have to pay for the Wi-Fi.
Shit.
You know, any drinks that we did buy,
Yeah.
we bought like a soda package. So there's soda machines, and if you buy the soda package, they give you a mug that only works in that soda machine. So like, it's pretty much you paid for all your soda for the week.
Yeah.
So we just like shared one, like a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like
you have to buy
$150.
alcoholic beverages too.
Okay.
And I was buying like speedos and stuff at the store, which are like marked up like triple than normal speedos. But
I had a couple like random. Well,
we did excursions.
Yeah, things like that. The excursions, just like little stuff that all adds up throughout the week.
Yeah.
What would you do differently? Do you think you would buy all the things on the boat again? Would you pack better?
Probably. Well, we were gone. You know, we were gone for like 35 days total. So we had to pack for like our entire trip.
Got it.
So like we had so many bags.
I think on average people spent like $1,000. It's just between like buying drinks or, you know, they had a brunch one day that we wanted to go to, a drag brunch.
Yeah, like all the food and stuff is included, but then you know, you can buy stuff at Starbucks, you know, which we did, and the drag brunch, you know, you have to pay for that. So we did all that like extra stuff too.
Yeah.
So
So I don't know if I would do anything. I wouldn't do anything different.
No, I did.
It's just
I would do it exactly the same.
Yeah. Do you think is the other cruise line more expensive or the same, or
the other one is the Miami one is cheaper.
It's less. It's days. We were 10 days. The other one is 7. I think.
Like the cheapest room starts at like $899 versus like this one starts at like $1,400 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's less days and it's cheaper to get to because you're going to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, it's just a less expensive trip. That's why the crowd is younger.
Yeah. Okay. It's obtainable.
Yeah.
I love that. So what's the biggest risk going on a trip, if any, would you say?
Biggest risk.
Well, we had a friend from LA who was there who actually missed, like one of the port stops, missed getting back on the boat. So had to fly to the next stop and get on So he had to like pay extra money to fly to the next stop, stay there until the boat docked, and then got back on the boat.
Shit.
Yeah. And, that's always scared me. Even when I did cruises in college, like getting off the boat and not getting back in time.
Yeah.
Like, how's that porting experience even work? I'm like, how do you get off the boat? Like, is there like a big like visa area on the boat, or is it off the boat, or?
You scan your like ID that you get for the week, like to get off the boat. And then you don't have to take your passport.
No, because when you scan that photo ID, your picture pops
You need a photo ID though, so you at least need your license. I think I took my passport every time because like, what if you do get stuck at the port? You need your passport to fly somewhere. So
yeah, but you don't need to skip on and off the boat.
Yeah,
okay.
But they said that since he missed his boat, they had a bag of his stuff. Like they took his stuff out of his room and gave it to them when they came back to like try to get on the boat.
Oh,
remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they look and they saw that he didn't get back on, so they like packed his stuff up and like gave it to them.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that part.
Yeah,
that's helpful. All right,
yeah,
just in case.
Yeah, I think the biggest risk would be just, I don't know, maybe just making sure you get some rest and make sure you eat and just like make sure you're still taking care of yourself.
Definitely make friends.
Definitely want to make friends. We made lots of friends. It was fun.
Yeah.
All right. So our second to last question here. So it's not written here, but I'm curious. Like, you guys are on OnlyFans, right? You're running. Is it independent or your own pages, or
we have one together?
One together. That's cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Were you guys shooting anything on the cruise at all?
No, we actually didn't. We kind of decided we like would have, but we kind of decided that we were actually going to take a vacation because we were in London the week before and we did a lot of collabs there. So that was like our week of work. And then when we got to Rome and the cruise, that was supposed to be our like time off.
I mean, it did say like if it works out and in the moment we want to, but there was no set like, oh, we need to get this done, or hey, it's halfway through the ship, we need to make sure we film something. It was just, we didn't know. I knew one OnlyFans creator that was going to be on there, but
we already collabed with him.
Well, we already collabed with him. And I wouldn't, again, he even asked at one point, he's like, oh, we should collab on the balcony. We should go film some balcony sex.
Exactly.
And of course we talked about it, but we're all partying and we're there vacationing. So it just didn't happen. And that was totally
go.
Yeah.
If you're, once you wake up, you want to, there's something going on. So you want to go do it.
Yeah. So we weren't, like on any like felt the need to do it. Yeah, we're just like if it works out, it works out.
Do you guys bring all these lights with you too? Like
no, we didn't bring any of the equipment either. So it would have all been like handheld.
Yeah,
which is fine. People love that, but
that's the part I like to watch.
Yeah, it would have just had to have been very in the moment. I think there was one point where you did try to break out the camera, and
you said no, actually, which is usually the opposite.
It was like 6 a.m. and I didn't. Yeah.
Your face was puffy.
My face was puffy. I was like, I just want to enjoy this moment.
Yeah.
I've been through too much. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
I think that's like the hardest part, I think, of working with OnlyFans is that you forget the lighting. You're like, it looks really good. It's sexy and hot in here right now. And then you look at the video later and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some of those nights like that, like, yeah, where it's really passionate in the moment. But, we also have been partying all night. So we don't look the best.
Yeah, I feel that.
You're like in your half of your outfit that you wore to the party is like hanging off you.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys so much. So I have our last question. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but would you recommend this for someone that's looking for love or for a gay sex party? So would you recommend this cruise or the other cruise, or like what's your talk about recommendation?
Well, I definitely wouldn't recommend going to find a boyfriend.
Yeah,
on these. I haven't been on the other one. That's more of
not a sugar daddy. It sounds like an older crowd.
I wouldn't say you should go looking for that. I mean, it's not to say it could never happen. I definitely know people that have met at circuit parties.
We met at World Pride.
Yeah, but don't go with that expectation and then let yourself get disappointed if it doesn't happen. But go for the fun. Go for the connections and like the memories that you'll make on the ship.
Yeah. And if definitely you're someone who wants to try out an environment like that for the first time, it's definitely really fun.
Yeah. It's a gay utopian summer camp.
It really is.
I still can't do it because I cannot be trapped on a ship. You know, like I feel like that would freak me out a lot.
I love that part.
I would rather be at sea every day than even stop somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, they could just do sea days the whole time and not port anywhere.
I'd be good.
And I'd be totally fine with
Well, I hear nobody, like a lot of people don't go on to the ports, but I'm like, just like being on the boat, like, and then I'm seeing these vessels get like broken down. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that fear, but I don't know. It's not something I think about because
I feel like the percentage of that is very low. Just like, people are afraid to ride on planes because it might crash, but very few planes crash. So.
Yeah.
Sure. You didn't get any motion sickness or anything at all?
No.
I actually, do work on ships for my actual job, so I'm like used to it.
Okay.
It's also so big you can barely feel it moving.
Well, thank you so much for sharing with us your experience on your older gay cruise. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time on the younger gay cruise coming up here in Miami.
I know people are going to be like,
don't be
anxious.